Hello, welcome back to Monster Train. I am, as always, your host, The Sound of Silence, but the silence never stops talking. How you doing? How's it going? Coming to you from a reasonable 3:15 a.m. I gotta tell you, I've been doing pretty good about getting these Monster Trains started before 4 a.m., I feel like. I've been doing a good job. Good job, me. I'm, doing well. Darkest Dungeon, as usual. As usual right now. I've been reading a little bit about Darkest Dungeon 2, and by that I mean people have posted the article and I've said this is too long, please tell me what it says in short. The game looks good. I'm definitely going to be doing, at least I will be streaming Darkest Dungeon 2, and I will probably also do a series on YouTube for it. I feel like it's something to look forward to for the channel. And then, who knows what I'll play after that game. When it hits early access, I'm going to play it, and it'll be here. I've been keeping my eye out as well. I want to bring back like a Neon Abyss style series. I also like lots of ideas. Oh, I turned my audio up. Hold on. I was listening to something that was a little quiet, so I turned it up in my headphones. We're on a streak of 13. I think that the next piece of content I'm going to create is going to be like that. Isn't just this. Is once the streak ends, I'm probably going to do like a retrospective analysis of all of the runs. Probably pull up some of the footage of me playing the runs and just talk about it for like an hour or so. I think that'll be something fun to do. And just go, hey, here's what happened on the streak. Here's how I knocked out my biggest win streak, and let's talk about each other runs. I'll probably try to spend like 5 minutes on each run. So accounting for intro and outro time, it'll probably be somewhere, and depending on how long the streak goes too, there's no telling. But I'm thinking about that. I've also been reviving the lore video discussion and working through that. I've been getting some stuff done, but my next semester looks like it's going to be super busy, so we'll see how much motivation I'm able to keep. But for sure, I'm going to play Darkest Dungeon 2 on stream, and I will probably do a series here. Maybe I'll just bring stream VODs over, but I'd like to do a dedicated series. It seems like it's going to be a more modular game. But I'd like to do another Neon Abyss type game if one pops up and looks good, but I'm keeping my eyes out for it. Anyway, that's what's coming up for YouTube. Realistically, I'm going to talk about things I want to do for YouTube and then not do anything meaningful. But I think I really will do the streak video. I think that will be fun. But yeah, for today's question, it's a bit of a niche question. This is kind of like, it's a general question of hobbies. Like, do you do any hobbies in particular? But the main one I want to ask about is bird watching. I've been, been victim to birds flying into my windows a lot lately, and I've been looking at some of the birds that are walking around outside, and I'm like, I wonder what bird that is. And I think it would be kind of cool to like just take some binoculars, go out in the forest, take a book, and just knock off some birds. Like, check them out. Knock off some birds sounds like I'm gonna go into that forest and kill them. Check off birds and like, hey, I've seen this bird and this bird, and that'd be fun. Be a good way to get away, get outside, see nature, touch grass, if you will. But does anyone interested in bird watching or anything like this, right? Collecting, things like that. I think the collecting aspect too is pretty cool. Maybe you collect something cool. Any of those sorts of things. Let me know. That's what I want to hear about today. And if so, give me a how'd you get into it as well, because I'm trying to maybe pick up a new hobby. We'll see. Well, where will I find the time? It's more just I want to expand my knowledge, I guess. Anyway, let's begin, shall we? Talked for a little too long here. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Exile Wurmkin, default Awoken. Hey, how did I get this big streak? Oh, well, let me tell you. The game kept giving me Awoken. And the end video, roll credits. Pushback Talos, Spell Shield fell, Sap Seraph, Hostingkin, Wildwood, Sap Soul Siphon. I don't think that Awoken is the strongest clan. Like, by numbers, I don't think that Awoken is the strongest clan. I think Awoken is the strongest clan for me because I understand Awoken. And play Sap Tap here for sure. With default Awoken, this is just +1 draw. Mostly. For Echo Ray, I kind of want to play Martial Lord. Crazy as it may seem, I do feel like this is a start that could lend itself to a little Martial Lord action, but I'll just play Shellsmith. I think either way it's okay. Martial Lord I think is a little better if I end up just playing a quick sweep line, but we'll see what they show us. Take it easy, no invasion trial. I was tilted towards the Shellsmith because we have 5 consume spells in our starter, in case you're wondering. I wasn't gonna go for it until I looked at the 5 consume spells. And then my tone changed a little bit. So what are we looking for on this run? Not too hard to suss out. Oh, that's right, Echo Right is 2 space. I'm looking for probably some of the high value Wurmkin commons named with the word Echo in their name. Looking for those for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and just ping the 5-1. We're gonna take like 6 damage here and I don't care. Some high value Wurmkin commons, maybe an Animus or a sweep unit could also probably do this. I mean, almost certainly can do this same run. I could have killed this guy. 13 plus. Hang on. Yeah, 13. No, I'd have to do 7 with that card. I don't think I could have killed this guy. It would have been close. With this draw, maybe. Nah. Alright, never mind. I don't think I missed anything. Go Infusion mid is fine. Might take a little more than 6. I don't know if this kills the boss. Let's see what we see here. I'm sure we're fine with 5 regen, right? No, 10 regen, though we are fine. Mostly I'm just looking for good Wurmkin comments. I'm looking for a card that increases my attack, and we're the clans that do that pretty well. Echo Transfer or Echo Infusion. Echo Infusion is infused, but I think that we lean towards Echo Transfer here. I think I lean towards Echo Transfer here. Even though Echo Infusion is infused, I think that we already have survivability on this run because we have Echo Right's Etch effect. So I'm pretty happy to take Echo Transfer. I'm a pretty big Steel Enhancer fan. It is a card that does increase our attack, and that's not bad. Card's not crazy. I think they could, in the Divinity, like pre-Divinity, I think this card was pretty strong. After they brought it from 1 to 0, I think they could probably up this card's attack and health and it would feel a little better. Probably just generally, I think that they could just nudge numbers up a little bit in the Divinity, but at the same time, I think the game's in a pretty okay spot. Restoration Detonation kind of clashes with the Etch effect. I'm gonna go Steel Enhancer. The other card I'd like to see is Shelter. I'll go Wurmkin Banner. Take a look. Multi-strike plus 25. What do you got for me today? Oh no. If only I had taken Shellsmith. Or sorry, Martial Ward. I mean, I'll play it. I will. I don't think that Bog Deep Cocoon is very good, but I'll play it. It's Shell 12. The problem here is 100% I will die in the next combat. This thing does not hatch and I die. Like 100% that's the problem here. If we can get through Daedalus with this unit in tow, I think that we could probably transform it into a winner. Because it'll have multi-strike and trample, and it etches for +10/+10, so if we get any sort of consume loop, which is not too hard in this clan, this pops off pretty quickly. You're giving him 20/20 every round. That gets pretty big pretty fast. But I'll die. Like, I will die. But I'd rather, in this position, given this circumstance, I would rather lose this run picking Bog Deep Cocoon than take this Kinho's Carapace. That's just how it is. I'm mad. I don't like Kinho. The safe and reasonable play here is to take Kinho's Carapace, but I'm not here to make safe, reasonable plays. There's a multi-strike in the shop. I'm slapping it down. There's a +25 in the shop. I'm slamming it. And we're gonna march to our fate. For better or for worse, we're gonna meet our fate here today. This is also, like, it's a rare circumstance. I don't get to play Bog Deep Cocoon very often. I have no idea if this unit is actually bonkers. I have a pretty good idea of if this unit is actually bonkers. But, do everything in my power to hatch this idiot. Like, that will be priority 1. Well, priority 1 will be not dying, but priority 2 will be hatch the idiot. And we'll just Hosting Kin the 5-1 away. We're gonna take a bunch of damage. That is part of the bargain I have struck here today. This is 5? Actually, if I just play, I have to take the Ember Drain. It's okay. Take the Ember Drain, and then I play Echo Transfer, and we actually do 36 now, which is enough to kill the Apprentice. I'm gonna lose my next turn quite a bit, but we sneak down here, kill this 5-1. Maybe it's actually okay. Echo Transfer just does it. 18 times 2 with 30 health. I think that's enough to kill this boss. I'd like to hash this thing because it'll look cool, but it's not looking too viable here. Just ping off the 5-1s. It's important to not tunnel vision on the etch effect. The etch effect is only +4 armor to the floor. It's not really that good. So I don't have to care too much about it. This thing doesn't hatch, right? There's no way. 1, 2, 3, it's at 4. It is numerically impossible to hatch that egg. So I may as well put 5 damage on the boss. And you die, right? Yeah. Cool. Sure. I mean, Echo Transfer, am I right? Damn. I could have had the infused Echo Infusion and the infused Echo Transfer if I had just leaped. But I was a coward. Oh well. I mean, I'll take the infused Echo Transfer. Card's still really good. I think that in this position, I take the Wildwood Sap. It's infused and it's consumed. Yeah, that card's fine. It etches. And it makes an echo. I really feel like I should pick a unit here. But maybe it's okay. Real thinker here. Can do some weird stuff like duplicate Soul Siphon is not the worst. Moves us closer to hatching the cocoon. I'm gonna go left. What you got for me, Wurmkin Banner? Ah, Bog Chrysalis. Imagine this run, but I saw Bog Chrysalis first and then Bog Deep Cocoon here. That's a nice idea. Good double dip on the Kinho's Carapace Infusion. You get +20/+20 effectively on the egg, because you get +10/+10 on the first summon, and then the second summon, because it hatches, you get another +10/+10. That's not terrible. I'm not gonna rationalize myself into taking Kinho's Carapace, though. I already came this far. Peep the temple. Is there an intrinsic? There's not an intrinsic. There's a spell chain. That's kind of strange. Caverns? I could pivot. I will not pivot, but I could pivot. These become consume, right? The automatic rail spikes become consume when they hatch. Or sorry, when you get the upgrade, when they hatch. Yeah, sure. These are good to add just 4 consume spells that do something to the deck. If we could see Bog Slime, that would be really strong here. Well then, could just dupe the infused Wildwood Sap. Could dupe Steel Enhancer, could duplicate Echo Transfer, lots of options here. At the end of the day, I think what I'm playing right now is I'm going to scale him up with Echo Transfer, and whatever I get from the etch effect is fine. But he is just a baseline 180 multi-strike trample unit right now, and we have Echo Transfer in the deck. I think I see where this one's going. It's not too crazy. I think this run might actually get there. But what do I duplicate? What is my problem? My problem right now is I die to Talos. I think that I don't die to Talos if I hatch this boy, and the card that best helps me hatch this boy is Soul Siphon. And making a second Soul Siphon seems kind of strange, but I think it is the play. Because this is just 4 echoes on the turn that I draw it. And 4 echoes on the turn that I draw it is a third of the Bog Deep Cocoon's hatch. Maybe I'm trying to be too big brain here and I should just dupe the sap, but I'm gonna go Soul Siphon. This is maybe too big brain of a play. Maybe I'm hindering my run later for this benefit now, but I think it should be fine. And I refuse to take any spells or any pack shards here. Could put Spell Chain on the rail spikes. How does that work? Do you think the Purge version has Purge and Consume on it? Because I believe the spells upgrade itself is +10 and Consume, so it might have Consume and also Purge on the Spell Chain version. Not sure how that interacts. I think it would just have Purge. But if it did have Consume, that'd be really good for Etch. I think I'm okay for Etch, though, and I'm not going to risk it to find out, basically. I don't actually know how that interacts. Push back Talos. Of course. Not a terrible start. Kind of gross, but it could be worse. If I see Marshword, by the way, we're definitely picking Marshword for this run, because Marshword makes it a lot easier to hatch this egg, and I think the run becomes a lot easier when the egg hatches. So, just quick math here. 5, 6, we have 7 rounds until Talos is top 4, which means I will draw a total of 35 cards. I'll see Wildwood Sap again, counting the restores probably. I think I can wait on Wildwood Sap and maybe I get the etch out of it. It's also good for holding regen. I don't care who's in front and who's in back here. I'm going to focus all of my effort on hatching Bog Deep Cocoon. And hopefully not dying on the way. Really good draw. Soul Siphon is very nice here. And also Hosting King kills the 5-1 and saves me damage. So we're at 4. I think I have to Echo Transfer and it's okay. Yeah, we're 6 off of hatching. Use Hosting Kin here. I think we're good. I think we get through this combat. Being able to give this multi-strike egg plus 15 is enough. The Ember Drain sucks, but it's enough. 6, we go to 5. Do I draw anything I care about missing here? No, actually I could not draw a card I care about missing here. Definitely great draw. Excellent draw. Oh, the regen triggers at the end of your turn for the purposes of Sap Tap. It's a quick 16-minute check. Is it... Am I muted? No, I'm not. Great work, me. Alright, so we're going to take... Quick math here. If I play this at 10, I'm saving... Yeah, so I play Restore, Echo Transfer, Rail Spike here. Actually, play it for 10 here. What's going on here? Oh, Talos pushes back. That's what's happening here. That's why this doesn't look right. Because the Bog Deep Cocoon actually goes second. So I put the Rail Spike on this enemy. I don't get the Slay, which is fine, and I'm saving myself 2 damage. We hatch our Bog Deep Cocoon. He is a 123 times 2 with Trample. And now we start stacking up some etches for our boy. He Smash. I did not think about it, but I don't have Quick for this setup. Maybe I get a Quick Tome. Quick Tome would fix that. Does Quick pass through from egg to child? I think it does. How do I heal there? Doesn't really matter. He's a 158 times 2. Yeah. Quick Tome would be good. Or Animus of Speed, actually. Either one would be really good. I didn't think about that, though. The Quick isn't like a required pickup for this run. Quick up, if you will. Could have killed my own Echo right with Rail Spikes, I guess. So I said my biggest fear was dying to Talos. We're through Talos. Adaptive Mutation doesn't do a lot. Kinstone's pretty helpful for hatching, and Perfect Insanity's terrible. I think that Kinstone is probably what I go here. Adaptive Mutation, I just don't see it. It's an etch and it's infused, but I'm gonna go Kinstone. And Miss of Speed. Great pickup here. Quick Infusion, very nice. Quick look ahead. Temple, Temple, Boons, Temple, Boons. Okay, we're good on Pack Shards. I should be fine. +1 energy seems fine here. It's Spellshield Fell. This is probably energy draw on this run. And I can take energy first because of Sap Tap. Our boy's just expensive. I'll take energy first. And we're going to go... I think removals are pretty value. We want to remove Train Stewards because they are dead. Higher health, money, artifact. I think we go left for removals. Even though I'm wasting a lot of this, I'm wasting these. I'm just getting removals, which is good. I think that's the best thing I can do for the deck right now. The mic a little closer. I've noticed that it's a little higher lately. Animus, a Will, Husk, Hermit. I'm okay, I'm okay. I think the Quick is worth more. I think the Quick is definitely worth more. And we go Temple. I'm gonna just go ahead and engage the Pact right now. Animus of Speed infused onto Bog Deep Cocoon. And then intrinsicing one of these Soul Siphons also feels pretty good. Let me take a quick peek at the Dark Forge. It is not Marsh Ward. Interesting. Repeater is +10/+10 every turn. It's not Repeater 2, but it is +10/+10 every turn. And I can use this to just stack a bunch of Wild Wood Saps. The downside is that it also pulls back Soul Siphon, which is a negative. Armor 8, but I have the regen plan going here. I think Echo Right kind of just sits in front. He just sits here and he kind of safeguards the cocoon, and then once the cocoon hatches, he just falls to the wayside. And Repeater doesn't help a lot. I guess Repeater, I could... If you think about it for a second, right? You take 1 in Repeater, and then turn 1, we play our intrinsic Soul Siphon. Turn 2, it comes back, we play it again. I should hatch the egg turn 2 almost always if I take Repeater, right? I have to find 4 infusions in this deck in the first 2 turns, first 10 cards, first probably like 12 cards realistically. Minus these 2. I think that Repeater actually makes sense because we play Echo Right, hatch the egg instantly, and then just let Echo Right go. I'm fine with that. If he dies, he dies. If he doesn't die, he sticks around. It's fine. I think that makes a lot of sense. And then with committing to that, we take Intrinsic as well, and we put it on Soul Siphon. Now, what I would really like to do here is put +30 onto the Rail Spikes, but that puts me at the scary number of 50. But it is so good. I should have held off on the Speed Animus, I think. If I had taken 25 less, this would have been free. And this is really strong. I'm gonna go for it. But no. Oh, it's... Ooh, it's tough. I'm going to go for it. I think we are strong enough now that I can try it. Let's make ourselves slightly stronger now. I'm gonna spend a little more money to become a little bit stronger. This is scary. I should not do this. This is absolute greed to take 50 pack shards in this temple. But, oh god. Haste combat is the nightmare. And Party Boy. Wow, wait, what? That's not right. That's not right at all. I draw. Can get 6 in. I can almost for sure hatch on the next turn. If I ping off haste, I'm killing myself 100%. I cannot ping off haste. I think that worst case I take 10 here, and that's the end, not the end of the world. I think I take the 6 because as soon as this Bog Deep Cocoon hatches, we take 0 damage for the rest of the combat. So if I just prioritize that, I think it's okay. Light the Soul Siphon, puts me to 4. Echo Break kills the 9/2, puts me to 5. I give Collector here. Yeah, 100% I give Collector here. Yeah. It was like an analysis, and then it became a definite yes. Second Soul Siphon doesn't do anything here. I don't play Echo Transfer, we just hatch the Cocoon. We take our 1, and then we get away with absolute murder here. Yeah, because this is a 180 × 2 quick trample. Or not 90 × 2 quick trample baseline. And I put the Wildwood Sap in the consume pile. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, just press my end turn button. What a really, really lucky roll this combat ends up being. We got super lucky. No complaints. Hang off that damage shield. Wurmkin, it doesn't really matter. We just take our +10/+10. But it's not really lucky, right? I mean, it's lucky that the first round wasn't harder, but other than that, I took the... That was the next cost card. That makes sense, yeah. I took the trial, and I took all these pack shards because when I was thinking out that setup that we did with Echo right here, I was like, yeah, we should just crush everything, right? The Bogwurm does really well until we get to the Divinity, right? The Divinity demands a lot out of the Bogwurm, and the Bogwurm can struggle there. But beyond that, like, he crushes. He's very strong. He's just right now he's a 360 damage quick trample. That's very strong. You don't need me to tell you that. Very strong. You might be thinking hosting Kin Echo right here is kind of weird. but it lets me potentially kill if I draw another Rail Spikes, which I could have. I guess I still could. 60? It would have probably killed anyway, but we do that to just cycle in a new Rail Spikes. Pretty sure our boy here is good. Didn't really think about the 36 damage coming my way, but almost got the Rail Spikes upgrade. Maybe having 6 of them is good? Probably not. Probably just want to have 4. Consumed the 3 random spell cards in your discard pile actually doesn't seem that bad here. This is a bunch of etches. I think that in this run, we're not really doing curate the etch pool and get high value out of our etch spells. We're just throwing a bunch of etches at the Bog Deep Cocoon after he speed hatches. Let's try Total Recall. Let's take Invigorating Solution. Channel Song, also not a bad idea, but I have to intrinsic it. It's a terrible idea. It's really bad. Give me Invigorating Solution, though, for sure. Oh, what? Oh, that gave me 4. That's right, because the first one counts. I killed 3 things. Sick. Plus 10 magic power consumed. This card is nuts for this deck. 40 damage consumed for 0 is so good. Sorry, I feel like I kind of rushed that decision, but very quick analysis of this one for you. Money, not gonna have enough to buy a trinket, so we go right where there are removals. I don't care that much about events. I don't actually think I want these removals, do I? I can. Oh yeah. Now that I'm here, like I did the second Soul Siphon and it didn't do much for me. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the second Soul Siphon. I think that it's fine. And I'll just get rid of something like Echo Break here. It's okay. The whole run is shaped around hatching the egg, so I don't need to worry too much. We take 15 from each temple, right? Puts me at 65, 75, 90, 100. Okay. Value Stone. Too bad I couldn't have gotten the Value Stone Rail Spikes. We can do like Value Stone Wildwood Sap actually, and then maybe we get Double Stack or Remove Consume. Permafrost, not worth. But take 15 because it makes our trip to 100 pack shards much smoother. We just take this as a free -1 basically, and we put it on. I'm looking, none of these cards really matter. Put it on Total Recall maybe? Put it on Kinstone probably, but let's put it on Wildwood Sap. No, that's the sort of choice that you could labor over for a long time, but the difference is very small. I will spend 25 to make something else cost 0. Don't worry, I'm just gonna click a card. Energy is not a big concern in this deck. We have the energy take in Assault, Armor 15. I'm not going to attempt Fate here for 150 gold. I'm not here to check if we're okay to take that. Drawing Restore here, very good. That's 6 steps of hatch on turn 1. Yeah, we hatch on turn 2 here. Really good. Yeah, really good. Just put 1 Echo Break into the egg. I'm going to hold off on the consumes, right? We wait so that we get the etch effect now. And then we don't play Soul Siphon, we make sure we curate our reform pool, or our consume pool a little bit. I don't want to be filling it with Soul Siphon, because Soul Siphon is not playable. Just throw everything at him. Go, team. 136 times 2. How much health does this floor have? That's like 270? This is not 270. This is a really fast 270 also. Doing this much damage on this turn is really a good sign. I cannot stress it enough, right? Does it run out of steam as a strong? Maybe. Give you a very big possibly there, but I feel like our boy here is doing enough. Like, he's scaling super fast. He's 400 times 2 quick trample. Or it's not 400 times 2. He's 200 times 2. 400 total. I'm mixing that up in my head a bunch. But he's looking good. Didn't I already play this card? Oh, it got pulled back. That's what Echo Right does. Of course. And keeping Echo Right alive is actually a pretty big boon, I'm realizing now. Just pulling back random consume spells helps a bunch. This is the... I haven't actually gotten to play a run like this, but this is a run that I feel like is supposed to happen more in Wurmkin. I'm gonna call this like the... It's like the kitchen sink run. Kitchen sink consume theory, where the game plan in terms of your consume spells is you just throw everything consume at them and you have a ton of consume as the plan. This looks really good, right? Like, this looks legitimately very strong. No kappas, this looks good. This will look a lot better. And what can we add to make this better? I would love to add, what's it called? Broken Memories? I think it's Broken Memories. Or the Tome. Hundredth Remains is really good. This is both an etch and an infusion. Infusion? A hatch. Like, it's an etch and a hatch, right? Ambient Charge is worse for consume because you have to trade echoes for it. Even though it's extract 2, I don't really like it. And also it's random. Like, you don't necessarily get consume off this. You could draw 2 dead weights. I like Unearthed Remains a lot more. Rainbow Lash, Preserve Thorns, Wildwood, Custodian. Could take Preserve Thorns. More passive draw. I don't think I'll ever have a problem of drawing too much. But I don't really get much out of Stings. I think I skip, actually. I don't think I want that. I don't think I need that. Take Right Path and grab... What's the strongest card in this deck right now? It's probably this Echo Transfer, so I would take another one of those. I'm going to go Right Path. Actually, you could look for Holdover on the left, though. I'll look for Holdover. Priory's Cloak. You may remember, previously, the worst relic in the game was probably Cursed Vines. I think it is now Priory's Cloak. This thing is... Oh, buddy, this thing is bad. I get the idea behind it, but it does not work. I think the Holdover Echo Transfer might be a bait. But it's one that I'm ready to take. Holdover Infused Echo Transfer is my Siren Song. I cannot resist its call. Total Recall going free is good. I think the big choice that I have made in this run that was really important was taking Energy. Energy was definitely the right call, especially upon taking Repeater, which is not something I considered when thinking about Energy. I'm not going to take anything else at this shop. I'm not even going to reroll because I don't want to spend my money on it right now. -1 plus 10. I can't imagine taking double stack, remove consume, or permafrost on anything, so here we are. Yeah, I'm down to just play it. Down to just play Echo Transfer. We give up 1 for plus 15. I do need the hatch fast, though. Vernal Kinstone kind of clashes with Soul Siphon just a little bit. No heal here, also. Actually, no. I can Kinstone first and then Echo Transfer for free, and then play the Soul Siphon. Wait a minute. Value. He's 30 times too quick. I can just keep Soul Siphoning, right? I'm trading 2 energy for fast-tracking my hatch, which is fine. I think we get it now, right? 5, yeah. 6, and then I could go 6 and could go down to 4, but I will just do the 6 and not go down to 4. Don't play any of my consumes, sit tight. I think that past this fight, if I draw the turn 1 Echo Transfer, I let it go. I don't play it. I think that's the important thing you take away from this one. Misplay alert, but I don't need that, so it's okay. Because, like, later on, it's all about the hatch first. We don't care about the attack. We want to hatch so that we can start rapid fire etches. Did I draw so many cards? 1, 2, 3. Oh, this was, I played this card, Invigorating Solution. Oh, I could take second energy and then curate. No, you can't curate on this run. This is not a curatable. Windstone goes down. Feel Enhancer. There's a lot of cards to play here. Make sure I play these in the right order. Rail Spikes I have to play last, so play the Sap. Play the Restore as well. Yeah, we're just gonna... I've incanted this enemy 10 times. It doesn't matter. Gonna Rail Spikes 3 times. Okay, we got a lot there. I didn't see how much the Bogwurm increased by, but he increased by a lot. I've been very hard on this unit in the past, Bogwurm. I think that he's very clunky, but this run, I gotta tell you, I think that, much like, I probably would have said this anyway if you had asked me how I think Bogwurmling does. I think this unit's not bad, but you have to have a lot of good support for him. And this deck just happened to start with Soul Siphon, and we hit the Intrinsic, and we hit Repeater. So we have a relatively strong likelihood of catching this unit very quickly. And we have a huge density of consume spells, which we can then use to power him up super fast. That's what's happening here, basically. Like, in short, hopefully you were able to follow along with what I said there. But, in brief, we hatch this unit really quickly, and we have a lot of consumes plus repeater. And he's like 800 times 2. 400 times 2. I did it again. He's 800 total. Doesn't really matter. I think about it in terms of total. Yeah, Wurmkin Etchings is nuts here. Just return 5 consume spells is really strong. I'm gonna take draw. I don't want to take energy here. I'm going to take draw. Okay. There's no unit upgrades left, so we go right. I think I go... I mean, I guess I go Shellsmith too, right? There is no reason to take... No reason to take Repeater too, it's just stats. Take Echo Break. Echo Break's actually just strictly worse than Restore. Remove Consume is very bad. I need to take a 15 here. Spell Chain. There's a lot of fun things to Spell Chain here. Spell Chain... I kinda want to do... Spell Chain Holdover Echo Transfer is plus 30 per round for 2 Echoes, which is pretty good. Spell Chain Kinstone is 2 permanent Echoes. Oh wait, I could just do plus 30 per round. I don't think it matters, right? We have this crazy Echo Transfer value here, but we also have... Could like Spell Chain Wurmkin Etchings, could Spell Chain Unearth Remains. Spell Chain Invigorating Solution. There's so many options. Sorry, that was a big yawn, and I'm also thinking very hard about this one. I think it goes to Eternal Kinstone. I think 2 unremovable is too good to pass up. Because 2 unremovable means that if I draw that early, it's going to help with the hatching, and if I draw it late, I just have permanent 2 echoes for Echo Transfer. I think either way, it's good. And we're going Shellsmith 2. I need to start putting the Shellsmith behind the Worm. We'll make stuff cost less. We'll go 1 cost or Unearth Remains. I will reroll this shop. I feel like it's probably worth. Starting to notice that I'm maybe struggling on the energy front. An interesting thing about Repeater, by the way, interesting note that I'm realizing on this run, making consume spells cost 0. So, general philosophy, this is something that I haven't really talked a lot about, but I tend to make non-consume spells that I want to play cost 0 before consume spells. So, unless the consume spell is really, really important. Wow, I'm high rolling like crazy on the turn 1 infusions. Absolutely nuts. But so I tend to make consume spells cost 0 last if I have a non-consume spell that I want to play. Because you gain echoes for playing that now, or it always worked like that, I'm not sure. I keep sidetracking myself, hold on. I'm gonna ping off that enemy. It's a little awkward because I put that in the consume pile, but I think we'll be okay. What I'm trying to say is that with Repeater, you see your consume spells another time, so I don't actually feel like you need to prioritize, or even, I don't think you want to... What am I doing, man? What am I doing with that one? That one's bad. That one's real bad. I played this out pretty poorly. Playing the rail spike was a misplay. I was trying to talk about something, and I just distracted myself. Bring back the Kinstone. Adding Consume to these spells is probably okay. 30 times 2. Okay. I'm gonna take like 40 damage for what I've done. And that's okay. Never mind, I drew Hostingkin. Good card. I'm gonna take some damage for what I've done here, though. Absolutely. I deserve it, too. I should have focused up and then talked during this section when we are now probably fine. Although I'm not so sure that we're okay. You're at 85, so I should echo break this enemy twice. Once or twice, doesn't really matter. Yeah, it took 20 for my side tracking there. Thank you, automatic rail spikes. Very cool. See what the draw is here as well. Rail spikes kills an enemy, but like I'm killing myself a bunch because I keep doing this with rail spikes where I play it first before I'm done playing the rest of my cards for some reason. I don't know why. I don't really know where that's coming from, but very wrong. Soul Siphon we don't play after the initial play. Look at that 5-banger of filled out permanent charged echoes. You'll love to see it. Just throw out all our consume spells now. Lesson learned on that turn. I do need to hatch this thing turn 2. I think we can hatch this thing turn 2, and this deck supports it. Last time I played this unit, I thought it was really bad, and what I realize now is I thought it was really bad because I did not have the deck that supported it. This unit, when you have the deck that works with it, seems really good, actually. My deck was just not built to help him when I played him last time. And he looked pretty bad then, too, but this was a relatively bad setup. I didn't play this one out super cleanly, and we got, you know, with last turn plays here, we get to, oh, that was Purge. Yeah, makes sense. Get to 800. With a pretty poorly optimized setup, so I'm pretty, it's close, right? But around 600 to 800 is what you need to hit for clearing waves on the Divinity, if you're trying to kill them through Trample. This is consumed, but I don't need the energy, I don't feel like, for Forgotten Trades, so... This isn't a run where we click on every consume spell. We want our consume spells, like, we have enough consume spells right now, especially with Repeater. I'm okay. Feeling good. I think we go... I could duplicate, actually, and I could just duplicate Echo Transfer here. I don't love it, because I think it makes our early game weaker. Once we hatch this thing, I think we're chilling. Maybe I duplicate something like Invigorating Solution if I go here. Anything I could duplicate that gives me a good 10? I could duplicate Kinstone. I could duplicate a Rail Spike also. Neither of those seem particularly enticing. I feel like I should go left though. Higher health, duplicate. I don't really need removals that badly. Pyre Stone Housing. Notice Stone gives a bunch of magic power, but magic power doesn't do much for this run, I don't feel like. Makes Echo Break marginally better, but I think we already do that well enough. Anyway, as I was saying in the last combat, and I took 20 damage for it, I'm gonna put a -1 on a consume spell. Even though there are 1-cost spells that I would play that don't play consume. Reroll this shop, we get Serrated Mandibles is interesting. It doesn't do much though. The Reap one isn't gonna do a whole lot. Like it does, this relic does something, but it's not a lot. Duplicating this Echo Transfer, like I don't love it because it makes our early game in the combat weaker, but if I draw it early, we just don't play it, and that's fine. And then when we redraw it, it's really good, I feel. I think I am going to buy removals. Maybe I just remove Echo Breaks. I'll remove at least 2. And then in the magic shop, I can reroll. There's no reason. We have a bunch of armor. I don't need to put +10s down. Oh, +20 consume I didn't think about until just now when it showed it to me finally. Putting consume onto a spell is pretty good in this deck, and will make Invigorating Solution free. Okay. This is Sap Seraph, which is nice. This is not a Seraph I'm particularly afraid of. I think that Diligent Seraph could be a little awkward. I think Chase Seraph and Sap Seraph are good, and Patient Seraph would have been bad. Patient Seraph might have just sniped me my entire run, but it's Sap Seraph. We got pretty lucky here. It's like a 50-50, really. Because Chase Seraph doesn't interact with our run at all. Now the true test, though. We gotta defeat a 240 on turn 1. Start by playing these cards in the right order. So we can put down 6. And we will put down 6. I don't mind the missing of an etch here. This is the problem in the brain that I have to fix. I'm worried about missing out on etches, so I'm trying to not play consume spells. Oh, wait a minute. I have made the classic blunder I made last combat. I played a consume spell. Foolish. Actually pretty bad, though. I think we can sneak out of this by putting, like, pumping rail spikes here. Like, I just send it on consume spells, and we see where we end up, more or less, now. Draw a card. Rail spikes. I just send it on rail spikes. I play the Echo Transfer. For 6. I think I play it. Play Echo Break. Just drop 100 damage here. I think I should kill the 15 times 2 there. That's correct. Okay. Oh, let me sit up here. This is a really important turn to play correctly, so let's work it out. First things first, I can play this Kinstone for sure. That's a definite happening. On top of that, with Kinstone, I can play Echo Transfer for free. We will do that. Probably will pull that card back. I need to hatch this Bog Deep Cocoon this turn. So I need to end this turn with 5 Echoes in the tank. That's our #1 concern here. So we're going to do the things that we know we're going to do, like play Kinstone, play Unearth Remains. We're at 3. Play a Total Recall, I think, is correct. Because this pulls back Infused cards, which puts us at 4. I'll go ahead and snipe this enemy real quick. And we get to exactly 5 with this Wildwood Sap. Oh, he gains a Harvest because this unit kills itself, which is a weird interaction that happens in this game. Just keeps throwing the rail spikes at him. I lost a bunch of etches, but we get there now, I feel like. God, imagine this run with Bog Slime, too. That would be ridiculous. Our boy has hatched. Our very handsome young man is here. Look at him. Owl before him. Steel Enhancer is such a nothing card now, it feels like, for this run. Sometimes it was going to be pretty good, though. Sometimes that +3 health is really important when you're acting on really small margins. This is not a run acting on really small margins, though. So in the next combat, I promise to you, my dear constituent, I promise in the next combat I won't... That was weird. In the next combat, I won't fuck up. You have to take my word for it. I didn't really realize how important it is to keep the Soul Siphon as the only card in the consume pile. It did not really dawn on me until I took almost a bunch of damage for it. We're also putting out pre-Divinity sorts of regen numbers. We're sitting at 24 regen just kind of passively here. Like, I'm not playing around regen. It just kind of happens like this, where we have 28, 29 regen coming up. Kind of wild. I almost steel enhancered that front enemy. Yeah, we want to be somewhere around like 400 to, ideally we want to be around 600 damage by turn, was it, so it's like turn 5, I think, turn 4 or 5, the harvest wave, we want to be around there. So we want to be somewhere around 300 times 2 for the harvest wave. I think we can make it. I just have to not mess up, right? Because I lose a bunch of value. This is the big thing. I lose a lot of value when I mess up because I lose out on a bunch of etches that I have to play in order to... Like, I lose a bunch of first-time etches that I miss because I have to play them to hatch my egg. This run would have been nice with Marshward. But the repeater is pretty cool too. I think that the best line for this would have been repeater 1, Marshward 2 actually. But then I think Marshward would just die to sweep, so it's a little weird. Either way, we're here. Bog Deep Cocoon has done it. I was feeling a little concerned about this streak too, because like we've won 13 runs, but I haven't done anything particularly interesting. We've done a bunch of high roll stuff. This is a run that is doing something that I have not done before. I have not played Bog Deep Cocoon before this. Well, I have. I just haven't played them very well, I guess. Hey, check it out. Don't play rail spikes. Very important. Now we go Soul Siphon to 4. This is a bad draw. I cannot hatch this turn. 5 is as good as I can get to. I can get to 6 technically, but curious indeed. We have to go through these enemies. I can go through them, I'm pretty sure. Put a steel enhancer here. I think that I am going to regen. Go right. 75. So put a hosting kin down. 3 times 2 dies. I might actually, if I'm not careful here, I can disrespect this wave and die, actually. Yeah, because I could incant them enough that they just kill my cocoon, right? Has he taken 0? Oh, regen is doubly effective. Yeah. That checks out. It's a bit of a thinker. 9... I kind of want to not touch these enemies. Crazy as it may sound, I might just want to let them walk by. You go down here and kill something instead. That's what I want to do. I'm gonna go down here and I just want to knock out like the 15 times 3. We'll see where we end up on this turn. So a pretty bad series of events puts us in this awkward position now. Let's see what we're doing. We're at 35. Every incan is +6. I would really like to draw the Infused Restore here. That would be my best draw. I can knock out 6 damage though, so we can play Restore, draw a card, play another Restore, you're probably dying. This card's neutral. Like any spell that I play. Oh, is this really bad? Wait. That's 60. 73. Oh, wait, is this terrible? Because you're 37. If I play one more spell, you're dead. Huh. No, because these consume. Never mind. These consume and I have the Echo Right armor. It's okay. I was starting to get into some like crazy brain plays, like playing Hosting Kin to move my own Bog Deep Cocoon to the back, but it's okay. We're actually fine. I just play out some consume spells and we'll be okay. Now, what I think is smart here is stopping. Think about it a little more. I'll play Restore Echo Transfer here. I was like, maybe I should just stop so that I don't incant too much, but I think that... What am I going to take? I'm going to take... If I play Restore Echo Transfer... I think I kill this enemy in the front here. But I'm taking... It's neutral to kill the clergyman, right? Because it's +6, and it's positive if I kill one of these apprentices, so I should kill the clergyman, actually. Hostingkin one of them, for sure. Worst case, it's neutral. If I put +15, I should kill this enemy. Do 51. So if I play Restore, Echo Transfer, I'm giving... So currently I'm taking 27 plus 6, which is 33. If I play Restore, Echo Transfer, I'm taking 13 times 2 plus 6, which is 32. Which is slightly better. And then I play one more and I'm taking 30 only. And I could even do this, and that saves me... Actually, this saves me 15, right? Instead of killing this enemy, which saves 6, we can save 15. Okay. I think we played this combat out, so I feel like I've done a good amount of thinking here. Rather frightening, but here we are now. Are we through? Absolutely not, but here we are. Pinstone's good. I'm going to take a bit more damage, it looks like. Can double rail spikes something here, but we need to accelerate our scaling for the next turn as fast as possible. So that is all that I have to care about right now. Damage taken here doesn't matter. I'm about to get clapped if I'm not prepared, and I'm not prepared. Can make my next turn... So I just ignore this Clip Reflector. The damage it does to me is minimal. I will not die to it. I'm never going to die because Clip Reflector walks up and does like 70 damage to me, right? There's no universe. It's going to live by a little bit. It's going to hit me 2 or 3 times. I'm going to take like maybe 30 damage from this worst case. We have other things to worry about. Impending doom on the horizon. I'm going to give myself 5 cards to consume next turn. That's 50-50. Do I pull a Hostingkin next turn? I do pull a Hostingkin next turn. I think that maybe... What's my... I have a Rail Spike as well. 60, 160. I think I just put it all on... So I'm gonna play Kinstone. Guy has 2 Spell Shield. Fuck you. Fuck you, buddy. Oh wow, I actually... Oh, because this times 2. That makes sense. I wasn't thinking about that right. I was thinking I was only getting +10. I'm getting +20 per consume spell, actually, in terms of damage output. If we live this round, I'm pretty sure we win the run. I'm also pretty sure we live this round. Because we can, as I analyzed, we drew a Hostingkin, which I can use to hit this enemy. Can I hit this guy to the back? Hang on. So let me do some quick thinking about how this seems like it should work out, and then how it's actually working out, and let's see if we can game the system here. So 183 times 2. 183 happens first round, kills 2. 23 hits. So initially we killed these 2. We give 10 armor, 20 armor to all of these. Second hit goes through, kills this enemy barely, pushes 3 through here, 45 hits. If I move you to the back, 183 hits here, 183 hits here. I think it is a little bit better. I think it's a little bit better. Maybe I should have just killed the Spikes enemy, I'm not sure. Probably I didn't need to do that, but too late for that now. I committed. I think that's another one of those, like, I'm trying to be too big of a brain play. Don't need to do that shit. Play this, throw down some Rail Spikes. It doesn't matter because it's all trampled damage. I could just kill this enemy even. But I think it's better not to, because I'm saving the AoE armor. This is the idea of my brain play. Maybe that was a big brain play, maybe not. I'm not here to think if that was or not. I move him to the back so that he dies last in the order after the tanks die to minimize the armor going through to the floor. Maybe that was smart, maybe not. I think that I could give up 2 energy I can give up 2 energy for the +10/+10, and I think it's worth. Now we just have to kill this mini-boss, and I think we're there. And I think we do kill this mini-boss. Yeah, okay, I think we got it. I think we got it. What a great run. I'm just gonna say it. What a great run. Either way, I'm relatively confident now that we have won this run, but win or lose, what an excellent run. Extremely fun. I've been thinking lately too, I don't feel like I've had a whole lot of runs where I have to sit down and really think out the Divinity like this. It feels really nice to have sat down and really just numbered everything out and made sure I maximized everything. Because I've been feeling kind of lazy lately. The game's been spoiling me a little bit. It's been giving me non-stop banger runs that are just absolute slaughters. And this run is this is the run that I'm really happy about. Because it gets there. It takes a unit that I think is really bad. Like, I have a very negative opinion of Bogwurmling, and I go, hey, wait a minute. Maybe there's a little bit of hope for this guy after all. I think that my big problem with Bogwurmling is that I probably tried to play him with default Wurmkin, which seems awful. Echo Right is holding it down on this run. I cannot overstate how good Echo Right is doing for this run. And yeah, the end game is, notice my 28 card deck is counting the Vengeful Shard that got added in. My 28 card deck is 7, 8, and 9 cards. And everything else is in the consume pile. This is a really interesting run to talk about why it won, because you know what, this run reminds me of a specific run actually that we did recently. It was the run where I had the offering monuments, the 3 offering monument run, and I just drew the entire deck turn 1. This is the sort of run where if this combat was twice as long, we would have probably run out of steam, assuming that the enemies scaled up. Because we were then, from that position, we were down to 1 consume per turn. But we had just the right amount of consumes to scale up really well. And I think the other thing about that run that matters a lot is we had Echo Transfer from Combat 1, even though I missed Echo Infusion for it. Echo Transfer from Combat 1 made it so that we didn't take a bunch of damage in Combats 2 and 3, because giving +15 to a unit with multi-strike works out. Really, really happy with this one. Thank you, Bog Deep Cocoon. Very cool. Adding a little spice in for number 14. So what's my, real quick before I go, I know you're wondering, now that Bog Deep Cocoon has gotten the stamp, what's the last card? You saw him on the run, but I will remind you, which card is in the Hall of Shame? Fuck you, Kinho's Carapace. I hate you. This run, what this run was supposed to be, me picking Kinho's Carapace and then picking Shattered Shell after the boss and going, there was nothing I could do. But my pure disdain for Kinho's Carapace led us to this Bog Deep Cocoon run. And it works out. I think that I could probably talk a lot about what happens good in this run and what works, but I've probably covered it pretty well by this point. Maybe in a more organized format I will talk about that card, because I definitely feel better about it now than I did before. Not super confident in my ability to use it, but, you know. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave me a like. I would recommend playing this run, because I think that this one was really fun to pilot. Give it a shot, see how your run stacks up. Subscribe if you want to see more. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.